The stage for the infamous Daywalker has been set. As for which direction he'll go, we'll have to wait and see. But one thing is for sure, his origin story and his whereabouts up about until now will be addressed, with the Ebony Blade and Eric's connection to it possibly playing a huge role of where he will head next after his debut in the wider MCU. Among the many projects announced from Marvel Studios at the latest San Diego Comic-Con was also Blade, with Marvel's most famous vampire coming to the MCU. And before we move forward, we can say with certainty that one of the biggest reasons why we'll be getting the Blade movie is the huge popularity the company managed to garner over the years, ever since the start of the MCU way back in 2008. The same popularity is very much responsible for the franchise's introduction to all types of movies, something that is clear right now, with the company itself diving even deeper into the TV shows that are getting released on the Disney Plus streaming platform, as well as all the genres Marvel is playing at the moment, with the upcoming X-Men 97 animated series being the latest in a line of versatile projects from the company. In many cases, up until this point, the appearances of many heroes served as their introduction to the wider MCU. Now that we got the new version of MCU Spider-Man, as well as the reboots of the X-Men and Fantastic Four, coming with Blade the Vampire Slayer of the MCU, being one of the latest MCU makeovers. Previously, the role of the character was portrayed to perfection by Wesley Snipes, playing the role of Eric Brooks in 3 movies as the titular character in the late 1990s, outside of being one of his most famous roles. The franchise itself proved to the world that R-rated comic book content is, in fact, something the world never knew needed. Up until recently, Marvel Studios never showed much interest in rebooting the character as part of the MCU, with the 2019 San Diego Comic-Con being the place where we heard Kevin Feige present to us the big surprise announcement that a Blade movie is coming. Along with the movie announcement, Kevin Feige also shared who will be portraying the titular character, with the actor at hand being Mahershala Ali. Over the last couple of years, the project has seen a lot of progress, with Watchmen writer Stacey Osei-Kuffour overseeing things in the writing compartment, who's joined by Bassam Tariq in the director's chair. So with all of this in mind, and the fact that the movie is progressing at the pace it is by now, and the interest fans are showing, we're here today to tell you everything we know about the Vampire Slayer that is coming to the MCU. Marvel has yet to confirm the official date for the movie, but since the news about the production of the movie already started less than a month ago, we shouldn't expect the movie to release before the summer or fall of 2023, judging by Marvel's previous projects, and then releasing 12 to 18 months after filming starts. The year 2023 seems to be more than a given to feature MCU's Blade. At the moment, Marvel has 3 2023 slots to fill, thus it's likely that one of them is reserved for Blade. As for a trailer, we'll have to wait a bit, probably until 2023 to see an official footage, a teaser of some sorts for the movie, but don't you worry, there are still a lot of things to look for about the movie, especially now since the project has picked up even more pace than before, and the release of it is closer than before. The casting group of the movie will be helmed by Mahershala Ali's Blade, who after his Oscar-winning roles in Moonlight and Green Book, as well as his stint in Luke Cage as Cornell Stokes, the actor approached Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios with his interest in portraying the role of Eric Brooks, aka Blade, in the MCU. At the moment, from what we've heard, Marvel didn't even have any interest in making a Blade movie, but Ali's talent falling in the hands of Feige surely made it easy for the whole thing to change. Not confirmed but expected are the likes of Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight and Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange to co-star along Ali's Blade. That is, if Marvel decides to stick to the comics, where the 3 are one of the most prominent members of the infamous team called the Midnight Suns. Apart from Ali, other confirmed cast members who will take part in the movie are Delroy Lindo from The Five Bloods and Aaron Pierre from The Underground Railroad, in as yet undisclosed roles. Not much is known about the story side of things about the movie, though it'll likely involve pieces of Blade's origin, seeing how the movie will bring the character's debut to the big screen, with the movie also showcasing Eric as an established and experienced hunter, and us seeing all the things he excels at. The journey of his that we'll probably get with the movie will likely answer where Blade has been throughout the MCU's history. Ultimately, one of the factors that will largely impact the whereabouts of Blade will be the decision Marvel will make of who of his many natural villains to introduce in the movie, and the one Blade will ultimately fight in his first standalone movie. This is everything we know so far about the upcoming movie, with more details surely coming our way in the near future. Outside of the official news given to the public by Marvel Studios, one of the clearer and heavier teases about the movie came through the Eternals movie, where Mahershala's voice can be heard as he warns Kit Harington's Dan Whitman about using the Ebony Blade in a post-credit scene. And although we only heard the voice of the character, this is still technically the first appearance of the character in an actual MCU movie. One of the more important things about that scene is the fact that it could have hinted at what the story of the upcoming movie could encompass, as well as who could show up in it. The other big thing is the dark counterpart of the Excalibur, the Ebony Blade, which confers godlike abilities to the wielder at the cost of his/her magnifying bloodlust, with both the wielder and the weapon growing stronger with each fresh kill. And while the Ebony Blade essentially makes Dane Whitman immortal due to him being of Arthurian bloodline, the weapon has also been wielded by Blade as well, which at that point made him the deadliest version of the character. Hence, along with all the hype about the movie and all the theories out there, one of them suggested that when Blade spoke to Dane Whitman about the Ebony Blade was possible because he wants the sword for himself, which could be something the post-credit scene was presumably setting up, with the Ebony Blade then going to Dane's hands after Blade has had his fair share of its powers, and him not being able to stop spilling bloodshed if the weapon is not taken away from him by Dane Whitman himself. The other thing that we think worth mentioning is the fact that Blade's solo movie could also be setting up MCU's take on the Midnight Suns, a team-up that outside of Blade includes the likes of Doctor Strange and Moon Knight, who we mentioned before, as well as the likes of Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Morbius. To put it in short, there are a lot of ways that could carve out the path on which Blade will go, both in the upcoming movie as well as where he'll head next after that into the wider MCU, with the Blade movie also having the ability and the space to showcase a plethora of other long-anticipated Marvel characters who will make their MCU debut. And last but not the least, Eric Brooks' involvement with Dane Whitman and the Ebony Blade might suggest that he might not be only crucial to the potential Midnight Suns team-up, but to the next Avengers iteration as well. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the character, where do you think his story will go, as well as what kind of an impact do you think Blade will have on the wider MCU? But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.